What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. I'm Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Chad Tynes
What's up? What's up?
and Chris Apicott.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on? So welcome to Tuesday's episode of the podcast. So Monday and Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays Ask a CISSP, and then Fridays everything else, movies, books, games, and all that cool stuff. But without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon. Shannon.
All right, everybody. This article comes from, I assume this is pronounced payments.com, Pymnts, I'm guessing.
Nailed it.
Yeah. And it's written by Payments, Pymnts. So they're a group. They're a group like one of us, right? One of us.
Yeah.
So the title of this one is Coinbase says cybersecurity incident could cost it $400 million. So Coinbase had a cybersecurity incident, which honestly, I don't want to say it was self-inflicted, but it was some overseas employees that they had that got bribed, actually, is what happened. So they had this cyber attack group that went out to them and was like, hey, we'll pay you. I want to say they said it was 1% of Coinbase's monthly user transactions or something like that. They offered to pay it to them and they took it. So they started giving up some information for Coinbase. But here's the thing though, right? Coinbase was being a G, right? So they went out like they did the whole Terry Benedict thing, right? Like from Ocean's 11. They're like, we're not paying, right? So they went after him, said, hey, give us $20 million. He's like, I'm not paying. We're not paying that. We're going to fire the people. And what's going to happen is we're going to put a $20 million ransom out for your heads, right? So
I love that.
yeah, that's the part that made me
It's real G.
smile to my face, right? So, but yeah, so they're saying though, with everything that they may incur because of this, right? And they're going to reimburse the people that have fallen for this, because what happened was the information that they got from the overseas customers they used to scam real customers of Coinbase, right? So it was phishing that they went out and did, and people, you assume they're getting a lot better at making these emails look legitimate, and the way that they're calling people and reaching out looks more and more legitimate. But they're saying the estimated expenses from this could be between, I want to say it was 180 million to 400 million for remediation costs, right? So that includes the legal fees, customer reimbursements, things of that nature. Changing their practices, more than likely that's going to cost them more money, right? So stuff like this doesn't happen, right? Whether it be that they have to pay people more money so they don't fall for things like this, right? Or get attracted to things like this. But yeah, they came out and they went out like a G, like a boss, man. Like I said, instead of paying a $20 million ransom or a $20 million, ransom, they put a $20 million hit out for they can give them information on this. So good for you, Payments, or not Payments, Coinbase, for going out and doing this, right? So, but what is sparking is that financial institutions need to take a better approach to how they deal with these things, right? So standing up to extortionists, things of that nature, right? So they talk about it. They mentioned in the article the state of fraud and financial crime in the U.S. report from November of 2024. And they said the share of financial institutions reporting their fraud-related dollar losses grew in the last 12 months 40%. So 40% it went up. So these financial institutions are becoming, they're becoming a bigger target out there. But Chris, what's your thoughts on this, man?
I mean, yeah, some of my first thoughts were like kind of looking at what was stolen at first, right? So people's, I think the customer data that was compromised was just like stuff like names, addresses, and then like IDs and account balance snapshots and stuff like that.
And it wasn't the full socials either. I forgot
exactly, not the full socials.
Was the last one.
Yeah, mask socials, right? Luckily, and then no passwords were stolen, right? But that said, the data that was stolen was perfect for like phishing scams, right? So attackers can impersonate, Coinbase themselves, and then trick users into, handing over the crypto or whatever it might be. Again, the fact that Coinbase refused to pay the ransom is so awesome. Like the first thing I thought was like, it's like a mob hit. Like, oh yeah, this guy stole from me. We're getting them back. All right. So I think that's excellent. And then what they did, right, is Coinbase did more fraud monitoring protections, right? So they implemented a bunch of that. I think it's a really strong message to cyber criminals. Hey, if you come after us, we're going to come after you, which is really. it's really awesome. But really, like, one of the things I want to highlight is that, this was essentially a cyber security. Like, it's social engineering, but not even that. It's bribes, right? So you're coming. This is as old as humankind, right? So it's like, hey, how do you prevent an employee from getting bribed? So that's first thing. I'm like, oh, you got to make an awesome workplace. You got to make sure that they have loyalty. So it's like, how do you foster that type of behavior other than like, hey, incentivizing, your employees to, want to protect data, right? But also increasing those punishments on those specific individuals, right? So there's just a dual-edged sword. So internal security measures, not like technology. We're talking social engineering, user training, and then really fostering an appropriate culture for that is very not just a mature practice. It's just very difficult to do as a overall. So really, from this standpoint, you need to get like your executive buy-in. You need to push culture from the top down, right? So like when you said that 40%, increase in the past 12 months for these financial or social engineering crimes, I'm like, maybe that has something to do, again, anecdotally, so with how employees are being treated at the companies, what if they like those benefits, right? So it's like, is the juice worth the squeeze? I'll just take this bribe and move to Bali or something, right? Is that what these guys are doing? So I don't know. There's a lot at play with this, but again, from crypto users, again, MFA. If you're using these websites, use MFA. I know a lot of it is probably default because they're financial institutions, right? To that extent, right? No share logins, and then just continuously monitor your accounts. I know people in crypto are already monitoring their accounts 24/7, so they're already doing that. But I think hackers they're not just trying to break in now. They're trying to buy their way in. So this is just like another level, right?
And here's another thing they did, right? So like they didn't just fire the insiders that gave up the information. They pressed criminal charges. They're like, your punishment will not be that you no longer have a job. We're going to see to it that you get criminal charges pressed against you. And as the people responsible for this get discovered, not the insiders, but the ones that try to ransom them, they're going to press charges to them to the full extent of the law as well. They're not around, not playing around at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan, what do you think?
You made me laugh. I didn't want to interrupt your train of thought, but you said it's the world's oldest profession. I'd say it's the world's second oldest profession.
But yeah, that's true.
For all the adults listening, you know what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
But yeah, the bribes it's like a cheat code, right? It's like, do I want to do all this work to get inside, or do I just want to find an insider and then pay them whatever it takes to get what I want? So again, props to Coinbase, especially for the bounty. That somehow I'm gonna have to fold that into the thumbnail for the episode, because yeah, they were like, oh, okay, you want to steal from us? So obviously, there's no honor amongst thieves. So put some money on your head, and then someone will turn you in.
I think that was definitely their intention, though. If I'm being honest with you, like I think there was an intention that somebody who may have been ridiculed, that was in the know or was maybe not part of the team, like somebody they're making fun of, right? Like that's probably who's going to be like, hey, I know who it was. It's like in 300, they had the
Yeah.
deformed guy that wasn't part of them. He's the one that turned on him, right? To
Right.
Xerxes. That guy is out there. That guy or gal is out there.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see more of this in the probably near future, right? Because money talks. I think on the other side of this is just how smart Nas is, right? The rapper and extraordinaire, right? Like, so he formed, or he's part of the Queensbridge Venture Partners. It's almost valued at $100 billion. So out of whatever they invested, it says range between $100,000 and $500,000. Now it's probably worth between $34 million and $173 million. They also invested early in Robinhood, Lyft, and Dropbox. So they spread the wealth pretty evenly when it comes to these new ventures, right? But yeah, he probably made a ton of money. So I think I have some coins on Coinbase. Forgetting what, it doesn't matter. It's probably not worth anything.
The Nas thing you bring up is kind of funny. I saw something recently. I think it was on Drink Champs. I know this isn't the Friday episode, but real quick, what is the guy's name from Third Base that started with Nas? I can't remember his name. Guy with the glasses, big white guy.
Oh, man, I know you talk about.
But anyway, he's the one that got Nas into the business, and the way that he did his deal. Nas has more money than I thought he did from being in the music industry. Because
Because yeah, usually get ripped off, but
yeah,
I think he does have some kind of like either he owned his masters or he did
owned
something.
his masters and his
Yeah.
publishing, right off the bat. Yeah, so
Which was unheard of back then. Unheard of. People still fight for their masters. Now rappers drop stuff on SoundCloud, right, to escape it. But to completely off topic, but just wanted to shout out Nas.
Nice.
One of my favorite rappers of all time. Very smart
And
man.
if you're listening, definitely partner up with us, Nas.
Yeah. Invest in the other side of Firewall. We're about to blow up. All right, invest some money over here. But no, I again, I think spot on. Insider threat is always going to be a major issue, right? So it comes down to also the monitoring of your employees. Like obviously you should want them to have investment in the company, see it as a platform that will springboard the career. Like I think they used to be called FANGs, now they're called MANGs because of Meta, thanks for Facebook to Meta. But those huge companies that provide all these dividends and then kind of just cause you to launch into a career, right? Because you worked at one of these big firms, right? Meta, Amazon,
Apple,
Google. Yeah,
Netflix. Yeah.
so like Coinbase should probably try to set themselves up to be one of those, but also they need to have better, which they are investing, better security controls around your employees, their identity management, and just their ability to exfiltrate data and things of that nature. Like the company I work for now, like they pretty much took over my Outlook, which I regret. Because now I can't copy and paste emails in the application, right? But that's how they stop me from exfiltrating data or inputting malicious code, right? Because everything has to be vetted and verified before it makes its way into the environment.
MC
But again,
Search was the guy's name, real quick. MC.
okay, there it is. Yeah. But yeah, I think very well done, very well played, Coinbase, and hopefully this becomes the norm, right? Like I don't think from a federal level it'll be always sanctioned this way because usually the FBI or Department of Justice themselves put out a bounty on the suspect's head, but in this case, Coinbase is like, nah, I'll take care of it to make sure this like to spread the word to make sure that no one decides to mess with us again. So I respect it. So definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. Again, Monday, Tuesday are topics, Wednesday discussion, Thursdays ask a CISSP, and then Fridays everything else, movies, books, games, all that cool stuff. Hit up all the websites that go by our name, The Other Side of the Firewall, or The Other Side of the FW. Go to the websites, theothersideofthefirewall.com or www.ramcyber.io. You can hit me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. You can find me pretty much everywhere, but LinkedIn is where I'm most active. And where can they find you, Chris?
You can find me on LinkedIn under my name, Chris Abacon. Last name is spelled A Bacon.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.